neighbors. I'm John Connolly, Manager of Video Programming for Ascension 21. I'm joined by Raven Johnson, Community Outreach Coordinator, and Pamela Matassa, Director of Communications for Ascension Parish. Welcome to Inside Ascension.
Hey John, hey Pam, and hello viewers. You are the faces we want to bring this positive message to our friends and neighbors. Stories from within Ascension Parish government and our community.
We have so much to share with you. Let's have a really fun show today. And I'm going to scoot over to the interview set where I'll introduce you to a couple more familiar faces I'm sure that you'll recognize and want to hear from. So don't go anywhere. I'm going to get ready and head on over to Studio B.
We
Sounds
can't
good.
wait, Pamela. We'll also have some important information coming up regarding cybersecurity and also space heater safety.
Both very important topics and tips on how to live healthy in Ascension. And we'll end the show with our musical lanyard segment from the recent presidential and parish council inauguration. Speaking of, here's Pam with more on that.
Thanks, y'all. I'm joined now by Clint Quintmaw, our parish president. One term down, a new one just beginning. It's good to have you on the program today.
Thanks, Pam. I'm so excited to be here.
We have a lot of stuff going on in the parish, and I want to cover just a broad spectrum of things today. But let's start off. What are some of the key points for your upcoming term?
Yeah, I don't know if necessarily the key points change. I think that the feedback you get from our residents is what you stay focused on. I think your efficiency improves. I think the things that you're able to accomplish improve. But traffic has always been our #1 issue in Ascension Parish. Drainage is #2. And of course, development affects both of those. And so staying focused on what's important to our residents is critical. And so in the first term, we did that. I think we've become more efficient by solving those problems and creating better solutions and how we do things as a parish. So it's more of the same focus and key points, but we're elevated in the way we accomplish things, and that's what's exciting.
What accomplishments, do you think, looking back from your first term, what things are you most proud of?
Yeah, with all the challenges that we had, March of 2020 was COVID, so immediately starting the first term, we went into the pandemic and essentially had to close parish government for some time. And then, record number of rainfall in 2021 and record number of storms in one particular year in the first term. But in all of that was the creating a professional team. And I think that is what's necessary to achieve your goals. You can't micromanage as a parish president. This organization is just too big. And so who you surround yourself with, which is professional, competent individuals with the ability or the wanting to achieve their goals, is the people that you need to surround yourself with. And I think that building that team, and of course we are constantly building that team in the future. We focus on that every day. But the team that has been put in place to take us through this second term, I would say is our greatest accomplishment.
Yeah, I have to say I'm very impressed with the team that you have built here, which was one of the reasons that I even wanted to come over here. I'm so impressed with you, the team, the people that you've built, and I think that that's what keeps Ascension Parish probably #1.
Yeah, and that team extends beyond parish government. I think with our other elected officials, like the sheriff and the clerk of court and the assessor and the DA, and our mayors of our municipalities, we're all working together. And so that's another team, and that team has built relationships. We have gotten to know each other and how we can help each other to ensure that Ascension Parish is moving in the right direction and a positive direction. So that secondary team of elected officials is just as important as our team in Ascension Parish government. So you have all that coming together, which is really a special time as we enter into 2024.
When you were giving your address during the inauguration, I really got that sense from you that there is that camaraderie, that sense of teamwork. With this new council coming in, I just feel like there's an overall sentiment of teamwork and a level of responsibility and commitment to the constituents that is just at a new level.
Yeah, I think there's, and you can kind of see it, there's a competitiveness in our parish with parish government, the school board, the sheriff's office, and all of our other organizations to kind of outdo each other. And I think that's great because that pushes, we're pushing each other to really enhance our parish, and that's great. But we're also, working together at the same time. So that there's those competitive juices that are constantly there, and we're all trying to improve, not only within our own institutions, but for the parish as a whole. And that's just a great thing. And you do that through relationships. You do that through working together. And COVID kind of did that. COVID's kind of brought us together to try to find the solutions from something that, we weren't really prepared for. Hurricanes we're prepared for. We have got that down pat.
Right.
But for a pandemic, we weren't prepared for that, and especially with the federal and state regulations that were coming down. We all had to adjust and work together and kind of find our way through that, and that really brought us together.
Talking about being together, accomplishments, things you work for. As you embark on your second term, what do you plan to do differently than you did when you started your first term?
I think it's coming into my first term, it was the focus was on the administration. The focus was elevating our team, or bringing the existing employees and new employees together, building that cohesion, that one team concept, and we kind of built relationships on the way. And I think this term provides an opportunity for us to build relationships with our current new council, that we are established, we are set, and so that allows us to go ahead and build better relationships with our new council. And so I think that's the critical component, and then those relationships go beyond to the state as well as the feds and our federal representatives. So I think tapping into those relationships is what we're focused on in this first term, and building those relationships early and often. And in doing that, we can all be on the same page moving forward. And that's critical. And I think that we have a special opportunity with this current council and this administration to really work together over the next 4 years to get a lot accomplished. And that's just the right time, right place kind of thing. It's just really come together. And so it is up to us to grab hold of this opportunity and really make something of it. And so I think that's really the core, is the relationships and the legislative branch working with the executive branch or the administration, all pushing in the same direction, all really trying to keep that quality of life in Ascension for our residents. And I think that's the big difference.
I guess we're going to have to take a little bit of time to just build those new relationships with the new legislature, the new governor, and the new administration as a whole too.
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing that remains the same in government is change, and so it is. So you have to be able to adapt. You have to, and I think that after 4 years of getting to know people throughout the state really helps assist in doing that. Whereas if you're coming in as a new parish president with a new outlook, new focus, new team, that concentration is there. Now the concentration is, hey, let's build those relationships now. Let's build them early. We've got a new governor, new legislators. And so it's just a great opportunity. And I think that you have council leaders that are looking to do the same thing. So with both the administration and council working to build those relationships, will make a tremendous difference in the next term.
What about some of the key infrastructure improvements that you're looking to have as key priorities?
Yeah, so when you look back, and it's no surprise, I campaigned on it often, my core focus has always been drainage. So I spent a lot of time really focused on that, and in addition to, capitalizing on several drainage projects, completing them and starting them. Fish and Frog Bayou, for example, is a completed project that really is essentially a cut in the road in Alligator Bayou Road. That was a great project we were able to finish. The gate valves in Smith Bayou, the dredging of New River, and countless other small projects that will have a difference, concrete lining of several of our major arteries throughout the parish. So you start to add all those up, including the big ones that we've started, the planning and designing of the New River pumps to the Mississippi River, or our Sorrento Surge Protection project, and the Southern, which is a new levee system, which is an extension of the West Shore project, 2 pump stations added there. And then the Laurel Ridge Levee Extension project started, a project that has been in the work for decades. It should be slated to finish at the end of 2024 or early 2025 if weather delays exist. We had the new tilting weir behind Walmart, which is going to provide extra capacity upstream. That should be slated to be completed in the first quarter of 2024 or April, May, depending. So when you look at everything on the drainage, we're certainly moving in the right direction. The staff knows the goals. The staff knows the plan. And so I think that that's now set. Now, as the second term, I turn my attention to transportation. And let's get those projects underway. And I think we've made some critical hires in that department. I think we continue to build that department. And I can already see us gaining ground and where we are in transportation. So I'm excited to see what the next couple years produces as far as projects are concerned. As we've designed a lot of projects, now it's time to complete those projects. So early childhood education, open finance, we could go on and on about all the things that we've done. There is a lot. And that's what's exciting, is we did all that in a new term. So what we're able to accomplish in a second term should be tremendous, and we're really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I like exactly what you said during your inauguration. You said you plan your work, you work your plan, now it's time to get to work.
That's correct.
And
Yes.
so I really liked those words, and I can see that really in action right now. Looking ahead, what do you envision for the future of Ascension Parish, and how do you plan to lead the community toward that vision during your second term?
So, let's look at why people have chosen to move here for the past 2 decades.
Sure.
We got job opportunities, we have a good school system, and we have somewhat of a rural characteristic. We got great leadership here. So I think when you focus on that, you say, okay, how do we retain that want for people to move here? That quality of life is what people are after. So you say, okay, have we grown too fast? Have we lost some of that? Probably. But I don't think that we're at the point of no return. So if we control our development and we grow responsibly, we can still achieve that goal of that suburban quality of life concept. And we'll continue to enhance our job market, working with businesses, and these are international businesses. These are not like state businesses. These are corporations that supply products across the world, and so they choose to move here to Ascension and establish great workplaces here in Ascension. So that I guess that dual concept, right? Job creation. Let's keep our school systems and grow those, and that also ties into the development. You can overcrowd your schools, and obviously they're facing the challenges with a new high school and new schools where we're going to have that. So if we grow a little slower, then that will allow the school system to ensure that we have those high marks coming in every year for our education system here in Ascension. So it's allowing our sheriff to adapt and making sure he's keeping the right amount of patrols, the right amount of officers on the street, and not growing so fast to where we lose that and we can't keep pace. So it's growing responsibly, job creation, good school system, and just an overall great leadership in our parish from not only parish government but throughout. And I think that you try to keep that intact. And I think that's why we've been rated the #1 place to live in the state of Louisiana. And we got to fight hard to keep that. We got to make sure that that is our plan, as you said. So it's now time to make sure that we stay on that path and focus on that. And that's constant reaching out to our residents and getting that feedback and finding out what they're happy about and what they're not, and so that we can make sure that quality of life is kept at a standard that people want to move here and the people who live here want to stay here. And that's the goal.
Yeah, the constituent services, that's a very big part of anything, letting people know, and everyone that's watching right now, know that you can give us a call, you can reach out, and we're happy to listen to whatever it is that you have to say, and we'll take all that into consideration. And you listen to everything that each of the constituents say, and I think that that's very impressive.
Yeah, we have the listening tour every other year. I think that's a critical part of reaching out into our community. I'm a very work-oriented parish president. I don't ride around. I don't socialize around town. I am in the office. I am in the meetings. I am making sure that we are achieving our goals. So the listening tour is an opportunity for me to get out, as well as our residents to give us that feedback. I like to be a hands-on guy. I make sure that things are getting done and that I'm keeping pace with my staff and what's going on and how we're accomplishing our goals. So the listening tour is critical for me because it allows me to get out and talk. Campaign season is great and all, but this is more that one-on-one that I get to go out and talk to people around our parish, and we try to have 5 or 6 locations at different schools and different areas so that it provides an easy opportunity for them to come see us. And I think that's that critical reaching out component that, hey, we're here to represent you. We work for you. Tell us, what's important to you, and that gives that opportunity. So we're going to continue to do that and continue enhancing that program moving forward.
Well, thank you for taking some time to sit down here and kind of explain all of this to us today. And I would be remiss if I didn't tell everyone to make sure, John, can you throw one of those shirts to me real quick? So I want to let everyone out there also know that the parish president has started a new sort of Serve Ascension team, and you're going to see these T-shirts out about with groups of volunteers from Ascension Parish government out doing good work in the community. And so when you see these shirts out there, they'll be wearing these. That means there are groups of people within Ascension Parish government who are volunteering their time to make a difference in the community. And so that's just another thing of positivity that you're doing inside, bringing the inside group out there into the public. And so again, good work. So proud to be here as part of this team. And now I'm going to turn things over and kind of a recap of the inauguration featuring the beautiful voice of Kyla O'Day. And this was edited by Marshall Courtney, who is our communications team technical operations manager. Take a look.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the
and perform all the duties incumbent upon me as a member of the Ascension Parish Council, according to the best of my ability and understanding. So help me God. Congratulations.
I, Clint Quinton, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of this state.
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and that I will faithfully, impartially discharge and perform all the duties incumbent upon me as Ascension Parish President, according to the best of my abilities and understanding.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Ted. I considered your dad one of my closest and personal friends for many, many years. I know that he's very proud of you in the past, and I was very proud of you today, just as I know he'll be very proud of you in the future. Congratulations. Thank you.
My long tenure in public service, not just as elected district attorney, but as the counsel, as a legal counsel for the Parish of Ascension for over a decade, there's a couple of things that always ring true that I want to remind you of. A couple of core principles, though, I think would lead you the right way. One of them is always keep your word. Don't think that winning is more important than the success of our parish. Don't waste time on noise. Focus on what you do. Focus on what's good for this parish.
I thought I would take the opportunity to speak from the heart and kind of give you an idea of what this means and where we've been and where we've headed. In Ascension, we have something special with the people that you have elected to office, because we all work together. Yes, we are responsible for our offices. Yes, but we all take the time to communicate and work together for the common good, and that result is the reason why we are rated number one place to live in the state of Louisiana, because of that, because of your leadership here. And to all the other local leaders, the ones that are not elected, that take their time and step up and contribute, because that is what makes us great as our people. And you can see that through various events throughout the year. I tried to think about what today was like, right? I knew what the first time that I was elected in 2020 and coming here and standing before many of you in anticipation of something new. And I kind of equated it to like going to high school, being that freshman, walking into that high school for the first time, only having a couple friends, not really knowing anybody, not knowing your teachers, not knowing the administrative staff at the school, and just finding your way. I can tell you that it has taken time and 4 years to build this team, okay? And that team is what makes us excel and what makes us special. And so we're going to continue to build that team, but I can't do my job without it, because without all those individuals, we can't be the #1 parish in the state of Louisiana like we are. And we're going to retain that title as long as we can. We're going to fight for it. But there's something bigger in the next 4 years. There's something that is different. We're no longer planning. The plan is in place. Now it's time to go to work. Now it's the time to take all the data and all the analytics that we've compiled for the past 4 years, start building our trends, start building our models, start building where we need to go and how to get there. And that's what it takes. Plan your work and work your plan. We're in the work your plan stage. So I will finish with what I said 4 years ago. It's time to get to work, so let's get to work. Thank you.
Welcome to your district profile, our very first district profile of 2024. And to start us off, we have District 6 Councilman Chase Melanson. Chase, welcome to the couch. We're so great to have you.
Thanks for having me, Raven. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. So first of all, congratulations on your re-election as Parish Council Chair. Tell me a little bit about how you feel about being re-elected.
I'm very exciting. It's always humbling. I was first nominated chair last year, January 2023, and that was I was very proud of that because we had such a large body who we had a lot of different opinions and whatnot. So to step up in that leadership role, I was very thankful for that, and I enjoyed it. And with 7 new council members coming in for the 2024 term, I really wanted to maintain that leadership role to where I could help bring them on, because in 2020, I understood how much of a learning curve it really is. So I was really hoping that they would support my leadership, and I had unanimous support. So very excited about that.
All right, support is so important, especially when you're dealing with leadership duties, and you're not only the chair of the parish council, you're leading an entire district at its core. Tell me a little bit about what your goals are and what are some key issues you plan to address in this term.
So this term, I would say my number one goal is I really want to concentrate on regional detention for Ascension Parish. We have some pretty strict field ordinances when it comes to development. That's whether you're talking about large subdivision or just an individual family who wants to build on their own little land out in the country. And right now these people have to mitigate the fill and dirt they bring on their property within their property, which makes it really tough. Most of the other counties and parishes throughout the United States, they have gone to a regional detention, program where instead of all these little ponds, I like to call them mosquito ponds, in your front and backyard at your house, there's 12, 20, 100-acre regional detentions within watersheds where that water can go and hold, and it really helps with our FEMA rating, which we all know we could use a little break on our homeowners and flood insurance right now. So I would say regional detention is something that I really, really want to get boots on the ground for this term right here. We in 2022, Parish President and I and a few other council members, we made a 3-day visit to Harris County in Texas, where Houston is, and they just have a phenomenal program. And we spent days there exploring with them and understanding the economics of it. How do you pay for it, and without breaking the citizens. So I would say that's a big one right there. Our home rule charter is, it's roughly 30 years old now. It is a little outdated. There's some changes I would really love to see there, and I do plan on early this year, maybe by March or April, I'd like to do a committee of the whole and let's get our citizens involved and let's see what kind of changes both on the executive and the legislative side that we want to make there to where we can move forward, just functionality wise. Or development. We made a lot of huge strides in the last term and kind of halting that unbridled growth we had for 20 years that doubled Ascension Parish population from 1990 to 2020. I mean, it literally doubled, that's not an exaggeration. Well, and there's always unintended consequences. So right now, we're kind of at a halt, and that was never my goal, and I don't think anyone else's. So I'd like to find a middle ground there to where people can continue. I have 3 young kids. I want them to stay here and live here. Well, at the rate we're going, they're not going to have anywhere to live, and so that big picture overview, that's some real, I would say that's my top 3 topics that I'd really, really like to touch on.
That's awesome, and I'm sure you get a lot of calls from people. They look to you to be the leader of their district, and so it's cool to see what you've learned along the way to kind of come to the decisions and the goals that you have now based off of the people. Would you say that kind of happens that way?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say one of the biggest things I had to learn with myself is realizing I'm an Ascension Parish councilman. I'm not just a District 6 councilman, right? So I get a lot of calls daily, weekly, and I try my best to get back to everyone. Not always successful, but sometimes it's a lot. Look, and a lot of the questions are, so we have about $200 million in planned drainage projects right now for Ascension Parish. As of right now, none of those projects are within District 6 right now. We have a lot of good things going on there, but all these projects affect my district. They affect Dutchtown. They affect Geismar. It's all one system, right? And then so understanding that making decisions for the parish as a whole is equally, if not as important as making decisions just for your district. In pre-1994, we had a police juror system, and that's how they operated. All 11 police jurors were looking out for number one. What can I do for my district? And that kind of got us to the point to where we went to the home rule charter, right? We need to work as a body, right? Looking out for our districts, but making choices that are parish-wide and not just, that's going to help my neighbor and maybe get me reelected next time.
It really is all about Ascension Parish as a whole, and that really brings me to my next question. What types of opportunities and challenges do you see for the overall picture of Ascension Parish, and how do you plan on tackling that?
So I would say transportation is our number one obstacle over the next 10 to 20 years that we're going to have. The funding just always hasn't been there. We don't have a large tax revenue for transportation like we do drainage and the schools and our sheriff's office, right? Those things are exponentially funded, and those things do extremely well. Like I mentioned, we have $200 million in drainage projects on the books, ready to go. They're going to take time, but we only have 2/3 of a half-cent sales tax that funds all 1,200 miles of Ascension Parish roads. So that's a huge obstacle. In 2017, 2016, 2017, we started the Move Ascension program, which is doing wonders, but that program is not going to last forever, right? And we got a 20-year bond. It's going to take a while to pay that off. So we really need to get really pull some magic, out of our hats, and how we get funding from the state and federal funds, and our state delegation and state delegation and our Congressman Garrett Graves have been, extremely important in getting us funds here. But we need major funds. Highway 30, Highway 73, right? When you think of traffic in Ascension Parish, that's, depending on which one you travel, it's 1A and 1B, right? So there's a 9-mile stretch of Highway 30 from Burnside all the way to the Iberville Parish line that generates $600 million in payroll a year for Ascension Parish, right? For $30 million, at the last count, for $30 million, we can 4-lane that. And just think of the relief we have there. We need another interstate overpass, right? Is that at Cornerview? Is that at Highway 74? Is that at Bluff, right? We need to get the ball rolling with DOTD and make those things happen. So transportation is always going to be tricky. It's going to be something that we battle a lot. But I do believe right now it is our #1 obstacle.
And it's definitely something that the people, they voice a lot of concern about. Yep. You hear about Highway 30, you hear about businesses popping up, and while we love the growth, there are some concerns there. What do you feel like is your plan, is your take on community engagement and really hearing the residents and hearing their concerns and incorporating that into your plan for the parish in 2024?
Right, and look, I understand. I can tell them I work on Highway 30. I travel it twice a day, Monday through Friday. I understand their frustration. I get frustrated myself. As far as outreach goes, so I really think in the last 2 to 3 years, right? I mean, you were an integral part of us bringing communications for the parish to the public, right? Like, let's have them informed. Not everyone has time to watch an 1.5-hour council meeting, and let's be honest, they're not exciting. No one wants to sit there in their off time and watch this, but important things are happening there. So social media, we're millennials, we love social media. There's no better way to give out great information while people are scrolling on their phone. So the social media aspect, in 2021, the parish president started his listening tour, and he did that again in 2023, right? I mean, which is excellent. Like, imagine having all 11 department heads for the parish in one room, and every citizen can go ask them any question they want. Like, hey, I want to know what's happening here, right? And let's help explain that to you. Let's walk you through that process. I know it's taking a long time. I'm as frustrated as you are, but let's explain it to you. I haven't done it a whole lot. I've done it about 6 or 7 times, but I actually want to amp it up this year. Like the Facebook Live, right? Like, I mean, how cool is that? Me on my patio, right? And whoever wants to get on, and you type in your questions, I'm asking them in real time, and it's personal, because just my district alone, every district has 11,500 people in it. There's no way that you get to talk to everyone in your district, much less the parish, right? And then so a lot of people's frustration comes because they're just not educated on the topic. It's not their fault. I think it's our fault that we should educate them. Let's give them all the information that they have. So I'm really hoping that we continue to do things just like this, right, and go forward and just blast all the information to where everyone is aware of what we're doing with their hard-earned tax dollars.
It really is all about engagement and getting in touch with the residents and the citizens so that they can be heard. It's all about service at the end of the day. So if you had one message that you had to tell Ascension Parish residents, District 6, from Councilman Chase Melanson, what do you have to tell them?
I would tell them that I honestly believe to my core that we live in the best parish in the state. Per capita, per home, we are the richest parish in the state. There's not our average medium income per household is about $86,000. That is exponentially higher than number 2, which is around 70,000. We have all the opportunity here. Government, not just in Ascension Parish, on all levels, has not always lived up to their responsibility. And I tell everyone, my goal is I want Ascension Parish government to be compared to Ascension Parish School Board and Ascension Parish Sheriff's Office. Because people move here to send their kids to the best school in the state. They move here because we're safe. In between Baton Rouge, in between New Orleans, and I wake up every day feeling safe, the Sheriff's Department there. And we have a great education, we have industry. We have these great high-paying jobs that you can get without a 4-year degree. Go to RPCC is just a phenomenal institute right down the road. They get high school kids into into our chemical plants, and they have great careers. And so I want us to start providing the services that people feel like they really deserve. And I want it to be a trifecta. Sheriff's Office, School Board, Ascension Parish Government, they're happy with us. They are very appreciative of the job we're doing, and they feel like that their tax dollars are actually being spent the way that they envision them.
I think that's great. Working together as a whole, you can never go wrong with that, to serve the overall mission, serving the people of Ascension Parish and making sure our parish continues to grow and strive in excellence. We look forward to you in 2024 and beyond, what you're going to do for our parish and working together with the rest of the council. It really is all about service. Thanks for joining us on the Couch Chase. That has been your district profile. And when it comes to service, it's spreading all across Ascension Parish, and we're even getting our employees involved. Take a look at our Service Ascension team.
Come on up right here, baby. All the way up, all the way up, all the way up. So today is, the commodity giveaway for the East Bank at Lamar Dixon. One in the back, one in the back. Very, very blessed to have our parish president and administration behind this program where we're taking care of our residents. So that's 3 guys, 3? Yeah, you good to go, thank you. This happens every month, and it happens on the second Wednesday of every month. And basically it's just another way that this administration and parish government appreciate their residents. 1, 2, you got your blue slip, baby? 2 in the back. And look, 2 in the back, 2 in the back. You good, bub? Okay, you good, buddy, thank you. Hey, you have a great day. We're taking care of the residents that need some assistance when it comes to food. That's gonna be 1, that's gonna be 1.
Our community matters, and it takes a team to serve Ascension.
Come all the way up to me, ma'am. It's gonna be 1. It's gonna be 1. 1, 2, 2. There you go. In the back. Yeah. You wanna go all the way in the back in the hatchback? Can you pop it, ma'am? There you go. All right, 2, y'all. 2 here, 2 here. 2 here. Thank you so much. You have a great day. Some people are, low income, and when we can do programs like this for the residents of our parish, it's important. And of course, this takes place every single month, and it happens on the West Bank and it happens on the East Bank. People have to qualify. They have to fill out a piece of paper. Basically, it's a piece of paper saying, hey, I live in Ascension Parish, and this is what my income is for the year. And if they qualify, they can come here every month and get food. All the way up to me. 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 Thank you so much. That's perfect. That's 3. 3 in the back. 3 in the back.
Brother, how y'all doing today?
We good.
God
We good.
Bless y'all. Thank
you
for all your hard work.
No, thank you. 3 in the van. Thank y'all. This is no doubt the difference between Ascension Parish residents having food and Ascension Parish residents not having food.
1, 2, 3.
13. And it happened because y'all were here.
That's correct.
So just know that this happens on the second Wednesday of every month, and your help is always welcome. And every time you come, the better we gonna get. And the administration and the parish president and the serve team crew loves you for this, and we'll see you next month. Thank y'all. Appreciate it. Good job, Banana.
3, 2, 1.
Serve team! Woo!
It's always so much fun to serve Ascension, and here at Ascension Parish Government, there are so many more initiatives doing just that. And here to talk about those projects is the Director of Health and Community Development, Colleen Arsenault. Colleen, thank you so much for joining us on the couch today.
Thank you for inviting me here. I'm excited to talk about this.
Colleen, it's always a joy to see you because there's so much going on that people don't know about in different hubs of topics like health and childcare, and you have some information on how those 2 areas are growing. One of the major things that's happening right now is the merger with Our Lady of the Lake and the Ascension Parish Health Unit, now known as Healthy Ascension. Tell me a little bit more about what this is.
Yes, thank you, Raven. So in June of this past year, we entered into a partnership with Our Lady of the Lake, and they are now running the operations of our parish health unit as well as the Ascension Counseling Center. But that's not all they're doing for us. They're also really working with us to ensure that we reach all of the citizens of the parish, expanding services that we offer on the west side of the parish, as well as offering more healthy living opportunities for residents, and really just getting out into the community and listening to community and figuring out what their health needs are.
So how does this change the services that we're previously offered with the counseling center and the health unit?
Yes, so we've extended the hours. We are now ensuring that both of these locations, clinics are open Monday through Friday. The health unit's open from 7:30 to 4:30, and the Ascension Counseling Center is open from 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. The health unit now has primary care services. We serve individuals ages 0 to 99, so anyone that needs to see a primary care provider, we can do that, as well as our traditional services providing immunizations, childhood immunizations, adult immunizations, the COVID vaccine, flu vaccine. And then the counseling center, we continue to offer mental and substance use services. As that includes individual counseling, group therapy, medication management therapy, but all with providers that are credentialed or, just incredible individuals helping provide those services.
That sounds amazing. Mental health is such an issue, not only here in Ascension, but abroad. And just to have something hubbed in to really tackle that here in our community is a big deal. So when you hear or say Healthy Ascension, what comes to mind? What's the mission?
The mission really is to ensure that we have the healthiest community that we can have, and it's ensuring that everyone in our community can access services. It's really when we talk about mental health, there's really not a lot of services, and it can take a long time to get in to see someone. But here you can usually get in an appointment within a week, and if needed, somebody can walk in and we'll do an assessment right then and there when somebody walks into our doors.
So when can people start to see Healthy Ascension and see these kickoff events and kickoff opportunities?
So we're planning a grand opening event for the beginning of February. We'll do a ribbon cutting and really just get the word out there that Our Lady of the Lake and Ascension Parish government are partnering on Healthy Ascension. And throughout the spring, we'll schedule events both here on the east side of the parish as well as on the west side of the parish. And Our Lady of the Lake is working to bring a mobile unit that we'll see probably more often on the west side, but throughout the parish as well.
All needed events and healthy opportunities for healthier Ascension. And that's not the only grand opening we can look forward to coming up. We've got some community development plans in the early childhood and education sector kicking off here in Ascension Parish as well. Tell me a little bit about the West Ascension Early Learning Center.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up because we're really excited about a child care center that we're partnering with Nicholls State University on that will be opening up this spring in Donaldsonville. It's on Mississippi Street, and we're going to be doing a grand opening or really some open houses within the next couple of weeks. I think the first one will be on January 23rd from 10 to 6:30, and then the following day on Wednesday will also be open from 8 to 4, and then that Saturday, January 27th from 10 to 2, and we will have our doors open. We're inviting families to come in and take a look and really talk with us to learn more about the quality childcare that we'll be offering, as well as what employment opportunities we have. We're hiring anywhere from the director of the child care center all the way to paraprofessionals, lead teachers in the classrooms, and we're happy to answer questions and to help folks fill out applications online if they need to.
So these open houses, which we will have the dates provided on the screen after this or during this interview at some point, to show you really how to have access to those employment opportunities. So this Early Learning Center is not only opening the door for quality education for young children, but also more employment opportunities. So this is just a huge deal.
Right, it is. We're really excited. We would love to employ individuals from the community, from Donaldsonville and those surrounding areas. We will have about 20 full-time positions. Those staff will be employees of Nicholls State University, as well as some part-time positions as well through Nicholls. So we're really excited about all that we're about to, open the doors and all that we're about to offer in the community.
And we are looking forward to those opportunities breaking ground and becoming more just official so people can hit the ground running to become a healthier community member here in Ascension and even expand on early childhood education, possibly get some quality employment if you're interested in the education sector. We've got it all coming with this community development, and we look so forward to having you back on updates on both of these projects.
Great. Thank you for
Thank you so much. Of course, we always love to have Colleen in the studio, and we look forward to having her here more. And you can learn more about Healthy Ascension through the website that you see on your screen.
As we enter the cold, frigid winter months, you may be using a space heater to provide some extra warmth in your home, which can pose a risk to your safety. According to Ascension Parish government, fires in our community are very common this year involving space heaters. Sometimes we underestimate the power of space heaters. It is very common to underestimate how close we have items next to the space heaters that are flammable that could indeed cause a fire. When we leave space heaters unattended and leave them plugged in and running for multiple hours at a time, that can lead to obvious fires. Ascension Parish government offers these space heater safety tips. Choose the right space heater. Select an appropriate one for the space you want to heat. Consider the size of the room, the type of heater, electric or fuel powered, and its safety features. Read the manufacturer's instructions. Familiarize yourself with the heater's manual and safety guidelines before using it. Follow the instructions carefully regarding installation, operation, and maintenance. Keep the heater away from flammable items. Maintain a safe distance of at least 3 feet between the heater and any flammable materials, such as curtains, rugs, furniture, or bedding. This prevents the risk of fire accidents. Place on a stable surface. Set up the space heater on a level and stabilized surface to minimize the risk of being knocked over accidentally. Avoid placing it on unstable or uneven surfaces that could cause it to fall. Never leave unattended. Always monitor the space heater when it's in use and avoid leaving it unattended, especially if children or pets are nearby. Please turn it off and unplug it when you leave the room or when you go to bed. Keep a clear space around the heater. Ensure that the space around the heater is clear of any obstructions or obstacles. This prevents the heater from overheating or blocking the airflow, leading to potential safety issues. Install smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. In case of any malfunction or unforeseen situations, ensure your space is equipped with working smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. Regularly test it and maintain these devices for optimal safety. Ascension Parish government hopes our Ascension Parish residents take these tips seriously to prevent the worst case scenario.
Here to share his expertise on safety of another kind, that's cyber safety, is Brandon O'Day, Ascension Parish Director of Technology. Welcome, Brandon.
Thank you for having me.
Cybersecurity, why is that important? And why is it important that we stay cyber safe?
Well, sure. Pretty much everything is on the internet these days, and it's very important to have a safe identity while you're on the internet. And things such as passwords, and knowing what websites are good, what websites are bad, are just some kind of the basics of getting around on the internet.
There's a lot of dangerous stuff on the internet.
Yes.
And why is protecting your password so important? Well,
your password is I guess the first barrier of defense that you have to protect your online identity. I like to use the example that if you had all of your life in a safe, in a physical safe, and you had to put that in your front yard, you would want to make that safe as safe as possible, right? So having a secure password is like having a really good padlock on that safe.
Gotcha. What's two-level authentication?
Yeah, so that's multi-factor authentication, or MFA. Mm-hmm. So it's become common to not only have a password, but to also have a second level of protection that goes beyond the password. Most financial institutions require this now, so when you go to log into your online bank account, you will put your password in, and then it's going to ask you to put in a code. And that code is normally texted to you, to your cell phone, or there are multi-factor authentication apps that you can install on your phone. That code is sent to you, and then after you put that password in, you put the code in, and you're allowed to log into your account.
To someone like me, that can get really frustrating because I don't remember passwords. I'm trying to sign on and I'm dealing with another device.
Right.
You encourage people to go through that frustration, and
I do, and it's I feel your pain with it because
it's worth it.
I too go through this as well. And to even add to that frustration, you should never use the same passwords on multiple systems. So it's obviously easy to remember that one password and to use it on multiple sites, but it's never a good idea because if that one password becomes compromised, all of your online accounts become compromised.
Your security vault's wide open.
Correct.
So can't you just like write down the many passwords you have and keep it on a little piece of paper next to your keyboard, like I do?
I would not recommend that at all.
I don't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
And also don't recommend putting it on the bottom of the keyboard because, that's also not very safe.
That's the first place a nefarious person might look.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
What other tips on cyber safety do you have for us, or should we save those for another discussion another day?
Well, you mentioned having or trying to remember all these passwords, right? And I mentioned having multiple passwords, using different passwords on different online accounts. There are tools that are out there that help you remember these passwords or store these passwords. They're called password managers, and there's a couple common ones. One of the more popular ones is called 1Password, and that's basically where you create one single password or passphrase to log into this account, and that account then keeps all of your various passwords for your different online accounts that you use. That's something that we heavily recommend. It's something that I personally use, and it's something that can help keep you from having to remember all these different passwords.
That's all great information. Brandon, we thank you for coming by today and talking about cyber safety and cyber security.
Thank you.
But before we go, it's important that we congratulate Brandon. I can't let him get away without some light news. Brandon won the Ascension Fantasy Football Championship this year. And so on behalf of all the other team managers, we present this championship belt to you.
Well,
in honor of your accomplishment.
This is quite the surprise, sir.
Yeah, well, it was meant to be. Congratulations, Brandon. We're going to sign off on this episode with another member of Brandon's family from the inauguration of our parish president and parish council. Here's Brandon's daughter, Kyla O'Day, singing America the Beautiful. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and please keep watching Ascension 21.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for heroes proved in liberating strife, for more than self their country loved, and